was like, Jesus, we believe in Jesus, man? They're like, yeah. I was like, dude, that means we can do Christmas, man. You know, and I'm getting all excited. I'm like, shit, we're Muslims and we believe. I'm like, we really believe in him? They're like, yeah, man, we love him. He's like one of the most important people in the religion. He's mentioned more than any other prophet in that book, by the way. Jesus Christ is the most mentioned figure in the Holy Quran, by the way. I don't know if Christians know that. The most mentioned. There's a whole chapter called Mary, peace be upon her. She's the most important woman in Islam. Literally, her and the Prophet's wife, Aisha, who gave us so much of his life and his narration. I probably want to talk about that too. People like to attack the character of the Prophet Muhammad based on his marriage. They say he was a pedophile. He married a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. This is the number one way that people want to attack that religion, try to attack it based on his marriage and trying to understand a culture from 2,000 years ago. There is no exact age. This is the question I will flip to people that want to use that type of personal attack to try to dishonor or disclaim the work of the Prophet Muhammad. First of all, in the state of New York, the age of marriage was 13 years old, bro. They just changed it a few years ago. If you don't believe me, look it up. The legal age you could get married in the state of New York was 13 years old. Was that normal? No, I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter and somebody tried to marry her at the age of 13, they'd be hanging from a tree, bro. Or they'd find him in the Hudson River.
Right.
Because that's just crazy, right?
Yeah.
Latino culture, they have something called what? Quinceañera. Yes or no?
Yes, quinceañera.
Most people don't even understand what does that mean. Well, why do they dress up their daughters at the age of 15, like basically like they're brides, and then they throw like a party for their birthday? Because in that time period, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, you were telling the community, my daughter is of age of marriage. That's what that's from. Sweet 16. Would you let your daughter? What person in America will let their daughter get married at 16? You celebrated Sweet 16 because you were telling the world, my daughter's of age. You can start to court her. Doesn't mean you can take my daughter and bang her. It means she's of age with morals, morality. You have the right now. She's old enough to date, to seriously consider marriage, is where that comes from. So I'll ask you, is it normal for a girl to get married at 15?
Definitely not.
But at one time it was. Because the world operated, especially ancient cultures, when a woman had her menstrual cycle, she was now of age to be married. The minute they had their menstrual cycle in ancient, so people want to analyze an ancient culture 1,600 years ago with today's perspective, when meanwhile in their own backyard, these are the laws.